Karyn Bryant from MMA H.E.A.T. I'm here with Jacob Harman at Kings MMA, and in a lot of ways you are a sort of an inspirational coach for these guys, a life coach, but you also work a lot on the wrestling here. We came down today to see our buddy Shogun. He's here training. We've got Fabricio Werdum, Beneil Dariush, Patrick Cummins, a great wrestler. Why do you think so many people have found Kings to be the place to come to get what they need?
I think Kings is unique in that not only is there a high acumen, high skill level, and the history to back it up, but it's also very real. It's not just drills and like almost going live and like faux sparring. Like, you can get all you want here and then some. I mean, you can turn it up here and it can be like a UFC fight here if you want. Most people don't want that. But the thing is this, the track record is proven. Look at the win-loss record of this gym in the UFC, in Bellator, in any of these organizations. The win-loss record here is what speaks. The belts coming back to this gym is what speaks. Like, this is the crucible. This is the true place where the ore is molten down, all the impurities are burned out, and then now that the metal is pure, it's poured out into the sword, and that sword is going out and winning the biggest competitions at the biggest venues of our sport. So I think if you're smart about what you want to do with your career, you'll subject yourself to the crucible and you'll come here and get molded into a champion. And in my opinion, not just a champion, but a legend. Because the names that are coming out of here and the names that are, from the past that are training here, they're like the hallmarks of the sport. They're the pillars of the sport, and they're still seeking out this place, Master H.E.A.T. It's an old recipe that's just proven.
I want to talk to you about sort of a technical thing. Let's talk about somebody like Fabricio. We know he's amazing at jiu-jitsu. We know now that his Muay Thai is excellent. The knees are ridiculous. Where do you do the work? Where's the transitioning, the wrestling? When do you come into play to round out that game? Because, obviously there is a step between on the feet and doing jiu-jitsu, but it's a very, tricky transition.
Yeah, I think it would depend per opponent. Like, you would fight Travis Brown way different than you would fight Roy Nelson. I mean, not necessarily way different, but there would be things that you would stay away from, or, okay, let's capitalize on Fabricio's strengths here, or let's exploit so-and-so's weaknesses here. And then I would try to make a specific recipe for those issues.
What did you tell him to do against Cain? Because whatever you did worked.
Oh, no, that was all Master H.E.A.T. I mean, they didn't even really go on the ground except for the finish. I mean, it was all Muay Thai and right straight through them. So all I said was, man, you're looking awesome. Keep it up. Keep working. And obviously, as soon as it hit the mat, Fabricio is just in his world. I mean, he is a elite level ADCC. Like, he's the highest level Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner. And so I knew if that fight went to the ground, that it was over, and it was a submission, So the key, as Master H.E.A.T did, was just put pressure, take away all of the safe spots, and make Cain jump into what he perceives as a safe spot, which is going into wrestling. And that's exactly what happened, and that's exactly what needed to happen. Force Cain into going to what he feels is a safe spot and meeting him there and ambushing him.
Yeah, as soon as he shot, it went, well, that's over. Yeah.
It was over.
One thing I want to talk to you about afterwards, Hafa and you, and it's just always such a nice thing when you guys talk to the fighters and you really sort of get into their mind and you talk about a fighter's mindset. Something that you guys were talking about was that certain fighters say, I got a performance coach and I'm really going to get everything on track this time, and you don't believe in that here.
I think those things are okay. I think there's many ways to do it. I've been coaching for about 25 years. I know Master H.E.A.T.'s been coaching for at least that. And my coaches were old school. We didn't have all that stuff, But then again, I grew up and we didn't have ADD and all this other stuff either. It was just like
everybody wasn't a winner. Everybody didn't get a trophy for everything.
No, it's like you either tried hard as you could, and tried to win, or don't do it. Do something else. That's where we come from. And so, I think the delineating factor, like you saw, is the Friday training. The Friday training is the closest simulation to a fight, and all of it, like. Waking up that morning, these fighters, they're beat up because I just put them through hell on Thursday over at Calvary or whatever, and they wake up and they have a moment, they have a choice. Like, get up and drink water and like start stretching and getting up, or hit snooze and complain or whatever. I mean, choice, all the way to coming through the door when you hear the pads just ripping you. It's like, it's on, it's Friday. It's, you know, you can see necks straighten up and people like, okay, you know, and then you see some people like, you know, my back is okay, this and that, and no, let's go. Right. And going through that threshold, like mentally, and coming in here and subjecting yourself to this, I mean, that's good practice. That's good practice. And like we talk in here, that's how you kill ghosts. You know, there's so many opportunities for little doubt, you know, words and doubt voices to get into your head. So many opportunities. The only way to kill those ghosts and burn them out is with hard work. Hard work, smart work, you know, obviously surrounding yourself with very intelligent, you know, Master Rafael is a great Muay Thai coach, and he's super intelligent. And, you know, surround yourself with these people and just be consistent.
Well, I was going to say, you know, part of what I saw here, watching Shogun fight, it was like, oh, yeah, you guys are sticking it to him like it's a real fight. That's the Shogun I see when I see him outside in the octagon. But I do feel like there may be some ghosts for him right now. Some of his fights haven't gone, you know, the way he had hoped, obviously. Do you feel that you've seen a change in him, though, since he came back to Kings? Do you feel that you're seeing him reinvigorated? People love to talk about the old Shogun, bring back the old Shogun. But do you see it?
Yeah, absolutely. After Dos Anjos beat Evan Dunham, I got hired by Shogun to go and live in Curitiba for almost 2 months, preparing for the Nogueira fight that ended up not happening. And you know, that camp was great, but I'll tell you what, I've seen him through there, I've seen him back in the day here, and now I've seen him now. And I told him today after the training, I was like, dude, you look young again, not just in your body, but your inspiration looks young. You look like you want to go and punch somebody. You're having fun, and you're looking for, you know, you're looking for points, and you're looking to score, and you're looking to drop people. And I haven't seen that out of him in a while. And it's really fun because the last few weeks he's had that mentality in here, and we have been putting it to him. It'd be a disservice not to put it to him. You know, you got to trial by fire. Obviously you don't want to hurt every single person or whatever, but you also don't want him to have a bunch of faux victories in his mind going to the octagon. You know, you're gonna bloody his lip, and he's got black eyes for 3 weeks, but he's confident. He's got black eyes, and he's got a smile, and he's standing up, and he's ready to go and celebrate in the octagon. And that's real confidence. And just seeing him walk and talk around here after, I mean, he's amped, and he can't wait to go and put himself on display and all of the hard work that he's done.
Very nice. And lastly, I wanted to ask you something I mentioned off camera, but we're talking about Yoel Romero. For you, you know, who gets you psyched? Like when there's certain wrestlers that we know are obviously doing big things in the UFC, and who gets you fired up when you look at the wrestling, and who do you think is just doing it the best?
Well, you know, I come from wrestling. You know, I'm a wrestling purist, and to me, Yoel Romero is probably the most talented and the most accomplished wrestler in the UFC at this moment. Nobody knows because he's kind of new to the UFC. He's kind of new to MMA. He's a phenom. He's a phenom. He's an athletic specimen. He's explosive. He's technical. I mean, he's the entire package. Because
some people will argue Henry Cejudo, he has a gold, whereas Yoel only won a silver. So therefore, Henry Cejudo is better.
I think if you look at Yoel Romero's international standings, like over a 15-year period, and compared it to anybody else in the UFC, then I think you realize, okay, no, this guy's a monster. He's another level. You know, Americans, we have college wrestling, and it's hard, and it's gnarly. There's a big drop off after college wrestling is finished. I mean, some of these guys have been wrestling since they're 5, and it's a grind from 5, 6. You know, some of these guys in Pennsylvania and Ohio, their dads are they're on them when they're 6 years old. And then they don't realize 6 years old is going to go to 14 before you even get to high school. Right. So there's 8 years of grinding before you even get to high school. Right. Then you go to high school to a prestigious, huge program, you know, some parochial school or something like this. And it's 4 years of an intense grind trying to earn that scholarship. Right. Then you earn a scholarship, and it's the most intense grind. And now you got man muscles and man strength doing this. And then after that, it's like, okay, do I want to make a run of the Olympic thing? For America, a lot of guys, I'd say 85%, they're just done, and they drop off at that point, you know. Well, Yoel Romero didn't go through all that. From a boy, he did wrestling and then went right to the Olympics, and he's fresh, and that's where he spent I wouldn't want to say the prime of his career, but that's where he spent the prime of his wrestling career, and now he's reinvented himself to be an MMA athlete, and so it's looking good so far. I mean, there's a lot of talented wrestlers, and obviously I'm American. I feel weird saying in different country is one of the
I work with a guy named Daniel Cormier. He's okay.
He's pretty darn good. He's pretty amazing. But you can even ask Daniel Cormier.
He goes up to you.
Yeah, no, he's great. And it's great because the UFC and MMA in general has offered a new place for all of us wrestlers to go, and it's like a new business place. You know, before or after wrestling was finished, you're either going to go and be the 0.001% and be an Olympian, or you're going to go and maybe be a wrestling coach for a little bit. Now we have a whole nother professional path where a lot of wrestlers are going into it, and as you can see by who holds all the belts right now, there's a lot of wrestlers flooding into and saturating that market. And so it's great.
It's awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, DC one time took some of us through a 20-minute wrestling workout, and I've never been so tired. So I really appreciate what you guys do, and thanks for taking the time to talk to us today, Jacob.
My pleasure. Thank you very much. All right. See you guys. When is that next fight?
August 1st is Shogun's fight, and Patrick Cummins as well.
We've got like 5 guys.
And then,
right in a row.
Exactly. And then Benil's on August 8th.
I know. It's like, yeah, good stuff.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, take care.